Live with CDP, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast live on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor FM. Now here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 1 of Live with CDP Sports Talk, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet, 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, as well as you can pre-order the all-electric Cadillac Lyriq now and the all-electric Silverado, or give them a call, 519-824-0210, and tell them that Chris Palme, aka CDP, sent you as well. And a special shout out to Mark Cullen again for having faith in me and my podcast and sponsoring this show as well. I hope everyone is having a great day. There's a lot of news to talk about, especially with the NFL and the Buffalo Bills right now. I'm just waiting for my guest. Today's guest is going to be Stu Boyar, former longtime sports anchor reporter with WGRZ Ch.2 in Buffalo from 1985 to 2020. And hoping Stu will be on in a couple of minutes and get his thoughts on the Buffalo Bills season and also the news about Von Miller, as Von Miller is now going to be out for the year with a torn ACL injury, as announced by the team and Sean McDermott, I think, a half an hour ago. So a huge blow to the Buffalo Bills, losing their big star in Von Miller and sack leader for the rest of the year with a torn ACL, which happened in the Thanksgiving Day game against the Detroit Lions at Ford Field 3 minutes before halftime. So basically, it's going to be next man up mentality for the Buffalo Bills. Even though being an Eagles fan, I still think the Buffalo Bills have a very good team, a very good roster, and I still think they are a Super Bowl contender without Von Miller. I think it hurts them a bit, but it's a huge blow to Buffalo, but you know what? Next man mentality up. And that's why I tell NFL fans, and this goes for Eagle fans as well. Imagine if the Eagles lost Jalen Hurts or A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or even Brandon Graham or Fletcher Cox. That really hurts. Like, obviously you want to have depth, but there's certain guys on your team that you can't replace. But I think Buffalo can fill in nicely for Von Miller, and I still think they could be a Super Bowl contender, but it's still a huge blow. And that's why, like I said, 1 week, one game at a time. In the NFL, you guys cannot foresee injuries and stuff like that. So as we're waiting for Stu Boyar to come on, I'm hoping he'll be on shortly. I did send him the link to my podcast and stuff like that. This would be Stu's fourth time on my podcast show. Stu knows the Buffalo Bills as well as anybody, and also the Buffalo Sabres. So I was hoping to talk a little Bills, Sabres, and some college football with Stu, and maybe a little bit about Major League Baseball as well, with Aaron Judge signing his 9-year contract for $360 million with the Yankees today as well. So while we're waiting for Stu, I'm just going to put a clip on from the Bandits Albany lacrosse game that I attended Saturday night in Buffalo. And if you guys have never been to a National Lacrosse League game, check out the Toronto Rock at the First Ontario Center in Hamilton, or the Buffalo Bandits at the KeyBank Center. Honestly, lacrosse is a combination of hockey and basketball, and it's a fast-moving, exciting sport, and both the Rock and the Bandits in this area do a great job of entertaining people. And if you guys are a lacrosse fan, I do have a lacrosse podcast tomorrow night, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, with Pat Gregor from Quebec, Canada, and he's also the color analyst for the Halifax Thunderbirds, and also the TSN Game of the Week. And Pat knows the National Lacrosse League as well as anyone, and he's the one that helped me get into the National Lacrosse League as a fan. And that, so Pat will be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and this will be Pat's record 6th appearance on Live with CDP Sports Talk. And I met Pat in September 2019 on a bus trip with Elite Sports Tours. We went and saw the Packers and Eagles play at Lambeau Field, and me and Pat hit it off, and we've been friends for over 3 years now. And he's been one of my main supporters on my podcast show, and giving me some advice, and he's allowed me to interview him after a Rocks game. So I hope you guys can tune into that podcast tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, with Pat Gregor from Quebec, Canada, and from the National Lacrosse League, Halifax Thunderbirds and TSN. And we'll talk about the Bandits, we'll talk about Halifax, we'll talk about the league. So join in for that. And also, guys, I have a double header podcast today. 6 o'clock tonight, Yvonne Leboy. She's the host of the Boogie Sports Show on her YouTube channel, and she's also a huge Cleveland sports fan. So you have the Browns, the Guardians, the Cavaliers, and also a little bit of Ohio State, about how that affect the loss to Michigan has affected the program and the moon around the state of Ohio with the Buckeyes right now. And Ohio State on December 31st takes on Georgia at 8 o'clock, and Michigan takes on TCU, Texas Christian University, at 4 o'clock. So bear with me, guys, as we wait for Stu Boyar to come on. I'm going to play a clip of the Buffalo Bandits Albany game that I attended. This clip is courtesy of the National Lacrosse League. Just bear with me, and I'm going to put this on as we wait for Stu.
He went in and out of the middle lane. Now Nanako will try it. He scores! Seconds remaining. In over the line is Tanner Thompson. Feed pass out in front, leaving it over for Piatelli. He'll leave it back to the top of the slot over to Thompson. He scores! For Albany, Connor Kelly with the ball. Deking his way in, a long shot, scores! Leaving it now into the far corner as Albany gets themselves into position. They score!
They're going to go a heavy right set here, Johnny. And that happened pretty quick.
Boom! That goes wide. Rebound along the glass. Byrne getting it on his own. One arm. Hit the goal post. Rebound. Score! Dane Smith, Josh Byrne. They hook it. Nanako, Chris Kluche. There's a shot. Score! Josh Byrne. Directing traffic, and he'll get off and allow Glenn Clark to put his offense out there in entirety. There's a shot. Score! Albany, Ethan Walker.
Wow, the University of Denver product.
He leaves it outside the restraining line for Albany. Goes field wide. Back over to Dane Smith. He tries to power his way in front. He fade pass. Score! Buchanan. Partner with him out in front. Kitchen hanging on to it with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Still short-handed. Kitchen doing a great job. Low drive. Score! Ian McKay, Dane Smith, and then there's a shot by Burns. Score, Buffalo. Picked up now with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. From behind the net is Thompson. He tries a diving shot, scores. Breaks the goal line plane.
And I'm sure John Tavares is going to kind of want to see this replay up on the big Jumbotron.
And his contribution tonight to give Albany the 7-5 lead, and now an 8-5 lead as Albany fires away on goaltender Matt Vince. Far corner down into the Buffalo zone. Now to the near side to Tanner Thompson. Nice deke by Thompson with a shot. He scores.
Wow, that's 3 in a row.
Nanako. The offensive set for Buffalo. Nanako scores. To Brandon Robinson, no connection made, and again another connection. However, Kluche comes up with it, scores.
And the energy, you feel the energy at the Key Bank. Together. What kind of offensive schemes are they going to run? But I feel they got a good base on it right now, Johnny.
There's a shot to goal by Buffalo. Again over the line. Speaking of was McCain, and then it goes scores.
Oh my God, put that thing on the highlight. Here we go, Johnny.
Cardle with him at right. Now Thompson looking. McCardle is there with a shot. He scores. On Josh Byrne, and now they stage the shot with Colton Watkinson. Top of the slot. Scotty scores. Play, as you just saw there. Here comes Buffalo with a shot. Score!
That clip was courtesy of the National Lacrosse League, and the voice was John Gerkler, the longtime play-by-play voice of the Buffalo Bandits, and John does a really good job with the Bandits as well. So, yeah, Albany won that game 11-10. Buffalo had 52 shots in that game, and Doug Jamieson, the Albany goalie, to me was the first star. He had 42 saves. He was huge in that win for Albany. Tanner Thompson had 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. He was my second star, and the third star, Tehago Nanako, if I pronounced his name right. To me, he was the third star for the Bandits. He had 3 goals, was an impact player for the Bandits the whole night before he got kicked out for his 5-minute fighting penalty as well. But it was a really good game. They had a good crowd there. I think they had around 13,000 fans there in Bandit Land. And I want to say a special shout out to the Buffalo Bandits cheerleaders for letting me have a photo with them. And I'm going to have one of their dance coaches come on and talk about the behind the scenes of being a Buffalo Bandit in the future podcast show here. And also thank you to Allie Brady, the Bandits in-game arena host, for having a selfie with her as well, but also doing a post-game interview with me as well. Allie does a really good job with the Bandits, and sometimes she fills in for the Amherst as well. So Allie Brady, shout out. And also to Chris Swenson, the Bandits public address announcer for the whole 30 years they've been in Buffalo. Chris is a really good guy. I had Chris on my podcast show about a month ago. And yeah, it was nice to meet him and his son, Brett. And I'm hoping to go back to some more Bandit games this year as well. So please check out the National Lacrosse League website, NLL.com, or go to bandits.com. Or if you're in the Toronto, Hamilton area or Guelph area, check out the TorontoRock.com as well. So again, guys, I'm just waiting for my guest, Stu Boyar, formerly of WGR Channel 2 in Buffalo. Again, the big news today is the Buffalo Bills announced that pass rusher Von Miller will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL. That happened in the game against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. So a huge loss for the Buffalo Bills, and now it's going to be next man up mentality for the Buffalo Bills as well. And some other news, Aaron Judge signed a 9-year deal with the Yankees today for $360 million. And the Cleveland Guardians signed Josh Bell yesterday. And Odell Beckham Jr. is still a free agent. He's coming off ACL last year from the Super Bowl win over Cincinnati. And this week, I think he visited the Dallas Cowboys. So apparently one of the dark horse teams now for Odell Beckham Jr.'s services is the Philadelphia Eagles. Which surprises me because we have A.J. Brown, we have Devontae Smith. Quaz Watkins now, I think, has a bit of a shoulder injury. I'm not sure what his status is for the game against the Giants Sunday, but if the Eagles can get him, that's fine if he's healthy. As long as he's healthy and he doesn't cause any drama on the field, I wouldn't be upset about getting OBJ in Philadelphia. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, for the Buffalo Bills, yeah, Miller rated third in the NFL in quarterback pressures this season with 38 behind Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons, who is a terrific player, and Patriots linebacker Matthew Judon with 36. No other Bills player this year has more than 12 pressures, with Miller's 216 pressure gap, the largest in the NFL this season. So the Buffalo Bills guys are going to have to step up, and Ed Oliver definitely is going to have to step up as well. So it's going to be next up mentality in Buffalo as well. So guys, in case Stu isn't able to come on today, I will have to do a rain check with Stu as well. I did send him the link earlier today, so we'll just cross our fingers. Stu Boyar can come on. Really good guy. I consider him a friend. He's been on my show 3 times in the past. So, yeah, I just thought I'd come on and talk a little sports and some Buffalo Bills news as well. So, and let's see, I got a comment here. Oh, let's see. Okay, it's just spam here. So just spam here. But Sandra Murray, thank you for coming on and watching as well. And I'm hoping to get some Buffalo Bandit players on my podcast show in the future as well. And I am going to have one of the Buffalo Bandit coaches, Lauren, come on my podcast show. Hopefully soon. We just have to figure out a date and time. So my next episode, guys, tonight, season 5, episode 2, is 6 o'clock tonight. Again, with my guest, Yvette LeBoy. She's the host of the Boogie Sports YouTube channel. She's the host of her YouTube channel show called Boogie Sports. She's a huge Cleveland Browns fan, Guardians fan, Cavaliers fan, and also an Ohio State fan as well. So I hope you guys can tune in tonight to season 5. Episode 2 was live with CDP this evening at 6 o'clock with Yvette. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Browns and the return of Deshaun Watson as the Browns quarterback, and if they finally have found their franchise quarterback in Cleveland since they came back as a new franchise in 1999 after the original Browns moved to Baltimore in 1996. So we'll talk about Watson. We'll talk a little bit about Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, Myles Garrett, their defensive end, and overall how she feel about the Browns coaching staff and ownership going ahead into the future. And the Browns, I believe, are 5-7. I think take on Cincinnati this weekend as well. And Buffalo has a game too Sunday. The Bills take on the Jets at 1 o'clock at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Jets defeated the Bills the last time in New York by 2 points, so I'm sure the Bills are going to be cranked up for this game. And you know what? Even losing Von Miller, I still think they're going to beat the Jets. And the Buffalo Bills right now are 9-3 in the AFC East. They're a game ahead of Miami, who's 8-4. The Jets are 7-5, and I believe New England's 6-6. But the Bills have 5 games left, and I think 4 out of the 5 are very winnable for Buffalo. The Jets game at home, Miami game at home on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Miami's not going to like that. Then Chicago, so that's another win. That's 3. At Cincinnati is going to be tough. The Bengals are playing like a Super Bowl team again, and the game's in Cincinnati. So that game, I don't know if you want to pencil that in as a win for the Bills. And then they play the Patriots at the end of the season in Orchard Park, which should be a win. So to me, the Bills right now are 9-3. They should finish the season 4-1 in their last 5 games. The only game I see them losing in their last 5 regular season games, even without Von Miller, would be against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. It used to be called Paul Brown Stadium, but they changed the name of the team as well. So looking forward to that. And as for the Buffalo Sabres, they've got games tonight against Columbus on the road, and then they're in Pittsburgh, or at home to Pittsburgh on Thursday night. The Sabres right now are 11-13-1 for 23 points. But you know what? I think the Sabres, even though if they don't make the playoffs again this year, I think this will be the 12th or 13th year they don't make it. The future looks bright. They have Owen Power, Jack Quinn, Rasmus Dahlin, Alex Tuck, Dylan Cousins, Tage Thompson, Victor Olofsson, and JJ Petrikov, Peacock. I think that's how you pronounce his name. As for the Sabres, I do think they need to address their goaltending situation. I don't think their goaltending is good enough to get them into the postseason this year, but I do think Don Granato is doing a good job as the Sabres head coach, as well as Kevin Adams as their general manager. So the Sabres right now, 11-13-1, 23 points. Sabres are one of the highest scoring teams in the NHL. I know everybody likes these black and red jerseys, but to me the Buffalo Sabres are blue and gold, and that logo is classic. For some reason, this younger generation likes the slug look and the Billy Goat look and that, but to me the Buffalo Sabres are blue and gold. I don't mind the one Billy Goat look with the blue and gold colors. I don't mind that one, but to me, the Sabres are not red and black, and I don't know how Stu would feel about that, but to me, it's just a money grab. A lot of these teams are doing, and I'm a Pistons fan, and I can't stand teal. And that was an awful uniform, and it only lasted 4 years. And now this young generation loves it. And I'm like, why? What memories do you have in that uniform? That you've got no championships in that teal uniform, no success, and you ended up getting rid of Grant Hill in those uniforms anyway. So to me, the Pistons are better off staying in their traditional white, blue, and red as well. So that's my opinion. I'm a old school uniform traditionalist as well, and that's why I love the Buffalo Bandits uniforms. The Bandits have had the same logo and the same color since 1992, and orange, black, and I think they have one of the best logos in pro sport. And yeah, like I said, so well, I just wanted to talk about uniform stuff and stuff like that. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, I like their uniforms, but I'm hoping they do go back to Kelly Green. I don't mind the black jerseys, the old black look as well, but to me, I'd like to see the Eagles back in the Kelly Green uniforms as well. I want to say thank you to everybody watching this live on my YouTube channel, on Facebook Live, on Twitter Live, and now also on Twitch and also on LinkedIn as well. So my platform is now on 5 live stream platforms, like I mentioned, and now on 14 audio platforms. So Live with CDP is growing now with 19 platforms, and I do have listeners on 20 countries across the world as well. And I want to say thank you to everybody for watching and listening to Live with CDP podcast as well. And I'm going to wrap this up soon, guys. Obviously, I don't think Stu's going to be able to come on today. Hopefully, I'll get a hold of Stu, and we'll have to reschedule. But again, Live with CDP Sports Talk is live streamed now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn as well. And like I mentioned before, guys, next Live with CDP Sports Talk, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet, Thursday, December 8th at 7 o'clock with my guest, Pat Gregor from Coolback, Canada, and he's a color analyst with the Halifax Thunderbirds and also the TSN Game of the Week as well. And again, guys, I have a podcast tonight at 6 o'clock with Yvette LeBoy, the host of the Boogie Sports Show on YouTube channel, and she's a huge Cleveland sports fan. So I hope you can turn into my show tonight at 6 o'clock with Yvette as well. And as we finish this up, guys, you guys can check out the Argonauts website, argonauts.ca, the official website for the 2022 Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts. Right now, you can get season tickets for 2023 for the Toronto Argonauts as low as $184, which includes 8 regular season games at BMO Field and a playoff game as well. And where else can you get season tickets for that price? So please check out the Argonauts website, argonauts.ca, and I am going to probably be joining that season ticket group as of tomorrow as well. And as we're talking, guys, my website, check out beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. All my social media work and all my podcasts are on there as well. Beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme as well. And as we wrap this up, guys, let's see. I'm just going to put some more stuff on here as well. Yeah, you can check out my friend's YouTube channel, Boogie Sports 2988 on YouTube, and that's Yvette's YouTube channel as well. And she's going to be posting more video content there as well. And you can also follow Yvette on Twitter at Yvette LeBoy on Twitter if you want to follow her there as well. And as always, guys, Live with CDP Sports Talk is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, or give them a call at 519-824-0210 and tell them that CDP, aka Chris Palme, sent you as well. And also, just to let you know, the parts and service department for Barry Cullen now until up to Christmas is now open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for parts and service at Barry Cullen up until Christmas as well. So, and I really appreciate Barry Cullen Dealership sponsoring my podcast show as well. Also, guys, you can follow me on TikTok. I post a lot of content there. I now go live on TikTok occasionally. You can follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP. That's at Live with CDP on TikTok as well. I'm up to, I think, 1,082 followers now as well. and you only need 1,000 to go live. So please check me out there. And also, guys, StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP podcast. For podcasting or webinars, StreamYard is your best bet. Great customer service at StreamYard. So please check out StreamYard if you're interested in doing a podcast or a webinar as well. I can speak as well. So StreamYard is the official live stream provider of my podcast show. And today is my 221st episode. And hard to believe it's going to be season 5. And this March coming up will be my 3rd year of doing podcasting as well. And like I do with all my shows, Live with CDP Sports Talk Podcast. The audio version is downloaded to iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Stitcher, Tuned In, Podbean. So if you guys, if you want to listen to it there, my audio version is now on 14 platforms, and I'm looking for more platforms for my podcast show. And I just added 2 more yesterday with Twitch and on LinkedIn now, so I can broadcast this live on 5 platforms and 14 audio platforms as well. And let's see, guys, you guys can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Either type in Chris Palme or Live with CDP Sports Talk, and hit subscribe, and also hit like. I do post a lot of video content there as well, and I also posted a post-game interview with Allie Brady, the in-game arena host for the Buffalo Bandits, Saturday night after the Bandits lost to Albany 11-10. Please check out my post-game interview with Allie Brady. She does a really great job with the Bandits and stuff like that as well. Again, guys, I do apologize, but unfortunately, my guest I don't think was going to be able to make it today, Stu Boyar. I will contact Stu, and we'll have to reschedule with Stu Boyar. But like I said, guys, hopefully we'll have him on again. Something must have come up with Stu. So again, I apologize. And I do have another show tonight at 6:00 with Yvette LeBoy, the host of the Boogie Sports show on the YouTube channel. And she's also a Cleveland sports fan. So hope you can tune in tonight to season 5, episode 2 of Live with CDP Sports Talk with Yvette LeBoy. And we're going to talk Cleveland sports with her, especially the Browns and stuff like that as well. Guys, I'm going to hang on maybe just a couple more minutes and just talk a little bit about the Bills. But if anybody's watching this right now, what are your thoughts on the 2022 Buffalo Bills so far? Surprises, disappointments. Obviously, Von Miller, the late Van Miller was the Bills broadcaster for 37 years, but injuries to Von Miller, now done for the year with the ACL. And then what do you guys think of James Cook and Devin Singletary? Singletary's in, I think, his 3rd year now in the league. I think he's done much better as a running back. And James Cook, the brother of Devin Cook, the Vikings, has done really well for Buffalo as a rookie. So I really do think if the Bills can use Cook and Singletary, that'll take a lot of pressure off Josh Allen from doing everything. So to me, even as an Eagle fan, I think James Cook makes that Bills offense even better and takes pressure off Josh Allen to do everything. We all know Josh Allen can scramble as well as Jalen Hurts, and he's a big physical quarterback, but you don't want your quarterback having to do it all the time running the ball. So I like that as well. Can the Bills win the AFC East? Absolutely. After Miami's loss to San Francisco and a backup quarterback, I really think this AFC East is Buffalo's to win. And I really do think the Bills will win 4 out of their last 5 games against the Jets, Miami, Chicago, and the Patriots. I think the only game that I can see them losing is a Monday night game against Cincinnati. And thoughts against the Jets game? I think the Jets have a very good defense, and I think Mike White is an upgrade over Zach Wilson. But I do think the Bills will pull this game out and win it as well. And as for the Sabres, they're 11-13-1, 23 points. I think they can be a 500 team this year, but playoffs, No, but they are an exciting young team. They have a lot of young talent. They can score goals. They do need to work on their goaltending in the offseason or acquire a franchise type goaltender. And as for college football, guys, the 4 playoff games don't start to December 31st. Michigan against Texas Christian University, 4 o'clock on ESPN. I believe Michigan should easily be the favorite and win this game against the Horned Frogs. And then the second game is at 8 o'clock. Ohio State taking on the number 1 seed Georgia Bulldogs at 8 o'clock. I'm predicting a Michigan-Georgia national championship game and also a rematch of last year's playoff game, which Georgia won. I still think Blake Corum should have been a candidate for the Heisman Trophy award, but unfortunately that award is very political. But you know what? Blake Corum had a great year and he will be in the NFL, and unfortunately, Corum's out for the year with an injury as well. But again, I got Michigan over TCU and Georgia over Ohio State. But wouldn't that be something if Michigan and Ohio State both won these games and ended up playing again in the championship game for the first time in history? So we'll see. But common sense says Michigan and Georgia. But anything can happen in a 1-game series, but we'll see. And also, guys, Aaron Judge, as you guys know, signed for 9 years, $360 million US. And Odell Beckham Jr. still hasn't made up his mind yet. He just visited with Dallas, so it looks like it's going to be between Dallas, the Giants, and Buffalo. But we'll see with Buffalo now, with Von Miller being out for the year. Odell Beckham might just say, you know what, I'm not going to Buffalo, but he's going to go pick out a winner. But who knows with the Eagles? We'll see. And that's about it, guys. Again, thank you to everybody for watching my podcast show live with CDP Sports Talk, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. And thank you for listening as well. And again, I do apologize for my guests. Something must have come up with Stu Boyar, and we will definitely do a rain check and reschedule Stu in the future as well. So again, guys, I hope you guys can tune in to Live with CDP podcast tonight, season 5, episode 2, with Yvette LaBoy, and we're going to talk some Browns football, some Guardians, some Cavaliers, and also a little bit about the Ohio State Buckeyes as well. And Sandra Murray, thank you for coming on and watching my podcast show as well. And again, my podcast, I Can Talk, is now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and on LinkedIn, as well as my 14 audio platforms as well. And that's about it, guys. Again, we'll reschedule with Stu Boyar. And I just want to say thank you again for everybody for watching Live with CDP Sports Talk, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. I hope everybody has a great afternoon. And we'll check out my podcast show tonight at 6 o'clock, again, with Yvette LaBoy. And we're going to talk some Cleveland sports as well. So again, give me about 10-15 minutes, and I will have this podcast downloaded to my audio platforms, such as Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podbean, etc. as well. So again, the Buffalo Bills announced today Von Miller will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL. And Aaron Judge re-signed with the Yankees for 9 years, $360 million US. And Odell Beckham Jr. is still making up his mind where he wants to play. So it's a great time of the year for sports and a busy time for news. And that's about it, guys. We'll talk to you guys tonight at 6 o'clock for season 5, episode 2 of Live with CDP Sports Talk. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and you guys can come back at 6 o'clock tonight and tune in to another edition of Live with CDP Sports Talk. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll see you in about 5.5 hours. Again, thank you, and thank you to everybody for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports Talk.